Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of calculating interest. This is standard 8.12D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 24 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have a deposit of $7,912. We have an account and it's got interest. It's got simple interest, so that's going to be important for us. And it's 5.75%. No additional deposits or withdrawals. This is going to be important as well. And then what is the closest to the balance at the end of 2 years? Okay, so we've got quite a bit of information here. Simple interest. When we think simple interest, we should immediately go to our reference materials, and we're going to go all the way down to the very bottom, and you see there's 3 lines underneath additional information. We want that second line, I equals PRT. We see the word simple interest there, so that's going to be our clue. Simple interest, I equals PRT. Now, the only issue is there's nowhere on the reference material that tells us what I, or P, or R, or T actually stand for. So, let's define those terms. I, you probably guessed it, but is the interest. We are going to be able to calculate for just the interest. Remember, our actual question is for the balance, so we're going to have to add the interest back in to the original balance. All right, so when we look at our P, that's the principal. So that is the amount that you are calculating the interest off of. So what's the deposit? In this case, right, we've got our principal is going to be 7,912. And the fact that there's no additional deposits or withdrawals is helpful because if you added money or took money away, that's going to change the principal. But for 2 years, the principal remains $7,912. So whenever you're dealing with a simple interest problem, you always got to be thinking, are they adding or withdrawing money? Because if so, that's going to change the principal. All right, this R is going to be your rate, your interest rate, and they're going to give it to you in the form of 8%. So we've got this 5.75%, and then the T simply means time. Over what unit? Most of the time it's going to be per year, but sometimes it might be per month or even per day. I doubt it, but sometimes. So we're dealing with it simple interest, and it's for 2 years. Okay, so that's going to be our time. So let's put all this together. So the I equals, what's my principal? $7,912. What's my rate? It's going to be the 5.75%, but I'm not going to really multiply that as a percent. I need to change that into a decimal. Remember, these are percents, right? Which means they go over 100. So if we want to move it over 2 times to the left, that's the same, right, as dividing it by 100. So it's going to be 0.0575. And then my time is simply 2. All right, so there we go. That's going to get me my interest. So let's get our calculator out. And we're going to say 7,912. And then we'll put the 0.0575. And then we will just have that 2. And we don't need multiply because we've got the parentheses. All right, so we've got this interest rate of, you see, 90988. But that's simply the interest. You notice that answer is not anywhere there because that's the interest. I want to know the balance, which means what I need to do is I need to go back in and add the 7,912 on top of that. Since that's just the interest, I equals this, the principal equal this, put those together, and we're good. 7,912. There we go. 8821. 88, which is closest to 8822. That is our answer, C.